Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
So, good evening and a warm welcome from Poland. I'm known as Dominooo, and I want to welcome you to round 2 of Formula Rookie Season 2 here on AOR. We are obviously on the Project CARS 2 game. We should be starting quali anytime now. As we have all the drivers in the lobby, it seems. The lobby hasn't gone on yet, but I can promise you it will go on soon. And just a little cutback to last week. Like we were saying last week, GC Rider's penalty for race 1 was actually his penalty was removed and he was promoted back to P2 in race 1. And well, that is probably all that's important about that race. Lord Arono finished 3rd and Tony Clifton obviously won that race. And let's maybe have a little go through the standings. Tony Clifton in the lead of the championship with 89 points. GC Rider 2nd with 78. 3rd is WMDR Martin with 73. So still, the championship can pretty much go to anyone. The point system is 50 points for the win, and it's pretty much 6-5 points until the next place is 44 for 2nd, 38 for 3rd, 33 for 4th, etc, etc, up to 1 point for P20. And obviously pole position and the fastest lap grant you 1 point. And well, like I said, pretty much anyone can still cling on and win the championship. We've had some great fights in the past 2 rounds, so I think that's another thing that proves my point. Well, we should be already going on with the lobby. It's already 5 minutes past 9 or 5 minutes past 10 if you're in the Great Britain, or 5 minutes past 8. No, that's 5 minutes past 8. Yeah, I don't live in the Great Britain. I have no idea about those time zones, but yeah, 5 minutes past 8 for those watching from the UK. Don't know what it is for the Australians, for the Americans. I can't really tell. I don't know the time zones, like I said. Well, another American circuit here today. We obviously had Willow Springs before, and for the preseason round, which actually wasn't counted towards the point standings, we had Sonoma for the first round. We had Willow Springs for the preseason round. Excuse me for my mistake. And today it is Long Beach, another great circuit in the United States of America, and we are go with the qualifying 13 drivers here on the circuit today. Hopefully every one of them makes the finish line without any issues. Hopefully some great racing ahead of us today. GC Rider and Speeding Sedan already out of the pit lane. Mad Dog and Lord Arano join them. Pretty tight and technical circuit here in Long Beach. Also a lot of straights. Could be another very interesting race ahead of us. I've actually never raced on Long Beach myself. It reminds me a bit of the Detroit, the street circuit that we had ages ago in F1. I think that's just the characteristic of the streets of the big cities in America. That's how they look. Well, I've never been to America, but you see those kinds of things in the movies, in all things related to pop culture. Hopefully I can visit America one day. Great stuff there, for example, Sequoia National Park. What else? I think California itself is worth visiting. Los Angeles. Also a lot of great circuits, like I mentioned earlier. COTA, VIR, Long Beach, but it's a street circuit, not in there for all parts of the year. Laguna Seca, Willow Springs, Watkins Glen, Sebring, probably my favorite American circuit. So yeah, if you're from the United States of America, and you're a racing fan, you're very lucky. Also a lot of series, IndyCar, NASCAR, Indy Lights, NASCAR trucks. One will visit America for 2 Grand Prix now next year, or this year. Yeah, we have 2 rounds already this year in Miami and COTA. Well, COTA is my favorite circuit, and Miami doesn't seem to look like a great one. But hopefully they will bring great racing nonetheless. We had the Russian Grand Prix last year on the Sochi Raceway, which isn't a great circuit, we all know that, but we had some great racing nonetheless. Almost the first win for Lando Norris. Unfortunately, that strategical mishap meant that he actually handed the win over to Lewis Hamilton, if I remember well. But let's not speak about that country. We all know what happened lately, and it should just not be mentioned here on the live stream. Let's go back to the racing here tonight. We already have GC Rider setting a provisional pole lap time with 131.9. Mad Dog follows him in with a 32.5. Dudek goes over 1.8 seconds faster and takes pole position away with 130.1. WMDR Martin crossing the line, taking P2 1 second slower. Most of the field already with a lap time set. 11 minutes left in the session. We still don't have Tony Clifton setting a lap time, although obviously that's old Padawan. I could be using those 2 names in exchange, as he's known by 2 names. We also could get a faster lap time from GC Rider or from Lord Arano. We've seen some great performances from those 2 guys already this season, despite they are not the quickest in the quali. Old Padawan now crosses the start-finish line to start his flying lap. His first one was invalidated, so we should finally get a proper lap time from him now. Let's check with our current pole sitter. Getting ever closer to the start-finish line, but he will pull over to the side and let someone else go. Well, I'm not sure if it's for slipstream, maybe just to have some... Do not have a car behind you worrying what could happen if the car follows you. WMDR Martin improved with a 130.7, right now 0.5 of a second off pole position. GC Rider 1.1 seconds slower than Dudek. I think like Long Beach is pretty much a very American circuit. A lot of advertisements on the sides of the circuit. You can see here. Oh, if you have watched the either the Indy 500 or the Daytona 500 or the Super Bowl or any pretty much sporting event in the United States, you know how much advertisements are fit in there and how much they are worth. How much do you have to pay to actually have those advertisements in there? I can say I have watched the Super Bowl this year for the first time. Actually, first time I've watched the American football or rugby. I mean, it's American football in that case, but it was my first time watching a game in either of those sports, and it was enjoyable. There were a lot of advertisements. It was just it destroyed the dynamic of the game for me a little. All those breaks and advertisements. It was very fun to watch though. Oh, and a slide from I think one of the Bergera guys. That could be Paul. No, that's not Paul. Who is it again with the red livery? Let me check. That's Stephen Carey actually. I forgot. A bit of a slide. He hit the wall. Lap pretty much over now, and he's back to warming up tires. Dudek still keeping his pole position. WMD Martin 2/10 back. Lord Arno in third currently with 5/10 back, 130.7. I reckon. Oh, I was about to say, will we get a 29? And that's old Padawan with 129.7, currently sitting the quickest lap of the qualifying session. Oh, he hasn't set a proper lap time for the first half of the session, but he is indeed there now. Currently sitting in pole position. 7 minutes until the end of the session. Someone could still snatch that pole position away from him. Dudek sitting in P2, warming up the tires right now. Getting ever closer to the start-finish line to start another lap. I want to see one thing. Long Beach corner names. That would be very useful. Okay. There is not a lot of those names actually. Okay, but I will learn them. I'll do the starting another lap. Old Padawan back in the pits. Few more cars also heading toward the pit lane. And Nidalap has been awarded a 1 grid place penalty for track limits. Well, that means if he keeps his current position, he will start last, as he's sitting in 12th right now. Let's see Nidalap now into Firestone turn and through Indy left. Well, I wonder why is it called the Indy left. And now through Le Gasomé. Crossing the line now, but won't see an improvement, or will he? Actually, it wasn't the start-finish line, but he does not improve for now. Old Padawan in the middle of his quick lap. WMDR Martin ever closer to the pole position, improving again. Second car into the 129th with a 29.9, 1/10 of pole position right now. Oh, and clipping the wall in there pretty harshly. Wonder if that's gave him damage. Oh, and another touch with the wall, and that is lap over. He'll be back to the pits now after that hit. But we've got a nice view of him crushing in there. Oh, and Ticklish Big Vehicle, our coordinator jumps into P3. That's a 29.996 right now to take P3. So the top 7 inside 1 second, and Lord I don't know and GC Rider setting the exact same lap time with a 1:30.7. Actually, fun fact, yesterday I was doing a league in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and the quickest lap of the race was actually ex aequo between P1 and P2. They both did, I believe it was 41.2, I think it was on Imola. Definitely not my favorite circuit, I'm very slow on Imola. But fun racing nonetheless. I finished P32 out of 42 drivers, so not very quick. But back to the racing, back to the quali session, little over 3 minutes left. Everyone's spicing up, getting ready to set their last laps of the session. All of the top 7 that's inside the 1 second margin are out on circuit. Let's see, GC Rider starting another lap, let's see if he improves on that one. And that is indeed not an improvement, but he is starting another lap now. So Old Padawan keeping the pole time for 4 minutes now. But can someone take it away from him? We have few drivers very closely matched to him on pace. Possible that we will see an improvement in those dying minutes of the session. Old Padawan 200 of a second up in the first sector. Let's follow him with the cockpit cam because I like it. It looks really nice. Actually, the roof cam reminds me a lot of the 90s F1 roof cams. A whole lot. So Old Padawan now into what is... no idea, but he's heading down Seaside Way right now. I think that corner he was crossing was... no, I don't know actually. But now through in the left, he should be heading onto the start-finish straight soon. And that is indeed the case. So let's see if Old Padawan improves. Crossing the start-finish line right now, and he sets the fastest lap of the session, 1:29.6, with little over 1 minute left in the session. Old Padawan improves his pole time, and oh, I have a hole in my head. Makes his lead even larger right now. WMDR Martin heading down Seaside Way right now. Kirovnik gets his lap time invalidated for track limits. And WMDR Martin crossing. Oh! That's a whole lot of understeer. Will definitely impact WMDR Martin's lap time. So I think that is a lap pretty much. Yep, that's 1.4 seconds off on that lap. But he's got another attempt to try and improve. Ticklish Pico also heading down the start-finish line. Let's see if he improves. Oh, he already crossed the start-finish line. I'm sorry, I'm really sleepy today. Oh, and a car in the background hitting the wall pretty heavily. Old Padawan sets another fastest lap with a 1:29.5. Dudek in P2 with 1:29.7. He won't improve. The WMDR Martin and a few other runners are still on a valid lap. Let's see, that is Lord I don't know heading to the start finish line. Let's see if he improves half a second slower than Paul now. And he does not improve. He stays in P5, but we have WMDM Martin, English Pickle and Kirovnik still are trying to improve the laps. Actually, WMDM Martin goes into the tire wall and he won't improve, but Ticklish Pickle is still indeed driving and he could improve his lap time, sitting in P4 currently, heading into the start finish straight. Shoreline drive as it is called, and he will cross the start finish line now. Let's see if he improves. And no is the answer. He stays in P4, and I think I can officially say that now Tony Clifton takes the pole position for the Long Beach Grand Prix. And as we see, Long Beach has moved to Great Britain, and don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. Dudek the pole takes second place, WMDM Martin in third, with Ticklish Pickle fourth, Lord Arono fifth, Mad Dog in sixth, and his fellow British man GC Rider in P7. Stephen Carey takes eighth, Kirovnik is in ninth, Too Fast For You is in P10, with Paul P11, Spinning Slam 12, and Nidelap takes the last spot on the grid. After that, one place grid penalty. So we are getting ready for the sprint race. 14 laps ahead of us. After that, we get race, feature race with reversed grid order. So let's see how the grid looks. Old Padawan. Another pole time under his belt. I can't check the qualifying results, but for any race, I think. Or can I? Well, I don't think so. Oh, I can actually see the results. I was indeed wrong. Oh, P2 actually in P2 in the preseason round, but he has taken a pole twice now in round 1 and round 2. He seems to be unstoppable in low fuel conditions. Also, a win and a third place under his belt in round 1, but we are now sinking and getting ready to start. 5 red lights are on, and that's go, and Old Padawan gets a bad start. Dudek the pole ahead of him right away. WMDR Martin could possibly also make a move on Old Padawan. Let's see the run into turn 1. Dudek already with a hefty lead, should keep his P1 into turn 1. That is indeed the case. Dudek takes P1 of the start. Let's see how the things unfold in the background. Stephen Carey runs into the back of WMDR Martin. So we are continuing through. Excuse me, that's not WMDR Martin, that's Lord I don't know. Same livery. And the start looks very calm indeed, except for that mistake on the start for Old Padawan. Dudek keeps his lead, and we have a car into the pits now. Or is it? No, that is not the case, but we have one car disconnected from the race. I am unsure who that is. Could be Speeding Sedan. I think that's Speeding Sedan, so we are down to 12 runners. We take the pole, calmly cruising in the lead right now, almost 1 second of advantage right now. WMDR Martin right on the back of Old Padawan. Let's see how that unfolds. but he gets a bad run from the last corner. And it doesn't seem like he'll be able to make a move for now. Lord, I don't know, following them. And Ticklish Pico. And Dudek the Poke clips the wall and goes wide, hits the wall again. And Old Padawan gets a good run on him. Wonder if there is a damage for Dudek the Poke. In the meantime, we are down to 9 runners. So 4 DNFs in lap 1. Oh! And Dudek the Poke hits the wall, slows down, and Old Padawan retakes the lead. Dudek could possibly now drop into P3. Let's see, Lord, I don't know. No, he won't drop into P3. Looks like WMD Martin has disconnected, so Lord Arano is up into P3. Doesn't look good. Wonder what happened there. We had 4 DNFs in such a short span of time. I'll try and get an answer for you soon, but no, Lord Arano gets a good run on Dudek round the outside. Oh, that's not a good cam. He goes for the old switcheroo. Backs out of it for now. He can't make a move. Switch back once again. Takes the wide line into the last turn. And that is Dudek up into P2. And we are down into 5 runners. Well, that does not look good. We are down into 2 runners now. And old Padawan retakes the lead. Wow. Well, that does indeed look like the Hungarian Grand Prix last year once again. I'm not sure what do we do now. Do we proclaim Old Padawan the victor of this race? As he is the sole runner left on the circuit. It's curioso scenes on the circuit right now. And Old Padawan takes P1 with speeding sedan P2. But I think they are indeed not the right results. I am guessing we'll have a restart. I wanted to go to sleep early, and that restart has pretty much made my dreams of going to sleep early impossible. So we had the sinking of the cargo ship carrying Volkswagen Group cars, sadly. Okay, so we are getting ready again to start race 1. We are getting a rolling start this time around, and we will have a formation lap, and Ticklish has forgot to include a formation lap again. So 1 lap shorter race this time around. Toyota. Okay, so we're getting ready now for the formation lap, and it has started. And the guys will be getting ready to line up in the correct spots. Obviously, old Padawan taking P1 to the second. Then we have WMD Martin. The audio stream's current bitrate 0 is lower than the recommended bitrate. But can you hear me or can't you can't? I don't know. But I don't hear anything on the stream. We are down. Okay, I hear something on the stream, never mind. Why are you lying to me, Google? What do you mean by stream down? The stream is in here and it is indeed doing very well. So I think we have everyone in their correct spots right now, just waiting for them to catch up and actually run in a pack. And we'll be starting the race soon, rolling start for this one, as we had I'm not sure what that is, a disconnect flag once again. Oh, what have I done? So we are now on the start finish line and we are now getting ready to restart the race. Old Padawan has already gone up to speed and that is race 1 underway once again after that brief break. And obviously with the rolling start, Old Padawan has no issues keeping his lead, but the pole actually pretty close up. Big slides into turn 1, but that's how you drive the car. And Dudek right on the back of Old Padawan already. WMDR Martin follows closely, then we have Ticklish Pickawayko a little bit behind them. Let's see how it goes in the background. Pretty calm start once again. So let's go back to the fight for the lead. Dudek the pole right behind Old Padawan as they are heading into, what was that straight called again? As they are heading into Seaside Way. So we have a pack of leaders consisting of 3 drivers. Dudek the pole there on the back of Old Padawan. Let's see if we can make a move into the hairpin. No is the answer. WMD Martin closely following the 2 leaders. Dudek the pole losing some ground to to Old Padawan now. WMD Martin looks to line up a move around the inside, down the inside. And WMD Martin goes for the move. Jumps into P2 now. Oh, and I think that is Dudek the pole in the wall, and yes is the answer. Dudek goes wide and drops into P12. Kierownik also in the wall. That is indeed bad news for the 8 Stars Racing team. They are in shambles. 2 last places for that team right now. Well, short race, but there is plenty of time to make ground for Dudek. Kierownik actually 13 seconds down to P12. Wonder what happened there. I don't think it was a hit from WMD Martin. But anyway, that is in the past. Let's focus on the present and future. WMD Martin over 1 second behind Old Padawan. Old Padawan seems to be pretty calm and pretty happy in the lead right now. Wicko moving up into third after Dudek the pole has crashed. Dudek already passed Speeding Sedan as he is in comeback mode, you can call it. Old Padawan sets the quickest lap, 30.1. That is, I think, 6 tenths slower than the pole time. A very quick lap indeed. Kierownik is into the pits. Seems that the damage was significant. And he will be making the first stop for anyone actually in the race. Let's see. Dudek on the back of Nidelap should be getting past those 2 Bajura cars pretty soon. Oh, and that is a big incident right now into Pine Avenue. That is a big incident indeed. And Speeding Sedan left in the wall. Too fast for you, Dudek and Nidelap involved in that incident as well. Dudek actually benefiting from that one the most as he comes up on top in P8. And GC Rider sets the fastest lap with a 1:29.7. A very quick lap. I'm pretty sure that's quicker than his qualifying time. So let's go back to the leaders. In the meantime, Ticklish Pickle has gone into the flowers in the roundabout section. And he is back on track right now, rejoining just in front of Dudek. That promotes Lord Aronau into P3. Rishi Rider little bit less than 1 second behind him, with the quickest lap of the race right now, so could be into the podium soon for GC Rider as he sets another fastest sector 2. Let's see how that battle unfolds as GC Rider is closer and closer with each passing second. Stephen Carey not far behind them. WMDR Martin pretty calm in P2 right now. Calm and composed. Some drivers already making mistakes, too fast for you into the pits with possible damage. Oh, I'm so sleepy. Let's see, Dudek, he is on the back of Ticklish Pickwickle, both unlucky in the early stages of the race, and Ticklish Pickwickle taps too fast who was rejoining the circuit, and that makes Ticklish Pickwickle lose time, and Dudek the pole doesn't wait, takes the occasion and jumps into P7. Well, that is indeed a mistake from our coordinator. But let's go back into this fight as Lord Aronau makes a move on WMDR Martin into the Firestone corner, but goes wide in this in P3. GC Rider right behind those two as we are heading onto the start finish straight. And Lord Aronau flips the wall. Bad exit for GC Rider, but Lord Aronau is on the back of WMDR Martin. Could be lining a move into turn 1. Goes around the outside, can't make the move stick. Ticklish Pickwickle moves up into P7, overtakes Dudek back after I think he makes a mistake in the roundabout section. I think it's actually the other way around. I think Ticklish made a mistake in the roundabout section. But they have swapped positions once again. And GC Rider actually goes for a move on the inside of Lord Aronau now into the Firestone corner. They touch Martin, but fortunately no crash related to that. And GC Rider jumps into P3 right now on the back of WMDR Martin. I'm heading to sleep right after this race. I mean, the second race. And GC Rider getting overtaken by Lord Aronau again. No, not after, no, after all. But Padawan C sits the fastest sector 1 clean air for the Hungarian. almost 5 seconds of a lead. The cars behind him having a little bit of a kerfuffle in there. And as we are heading through Seaside Way once again, let's see if any of the driver tries to make a move. Now is the answer. Through Firestone Corner, follow each other closely, but no attack from any of them yet. Rula Gasome, no moves made as they are heading onto lap 9. Padawan already crossed the line and he is cruising calmly in that P1. Lord Arno seems to be trying to take an occasion once again, but he's not quick enough into turn 1. Stays in P4. Through the roundabout section, they still stay in those same positions they were. Let me get my mic closer. Even Kerry in P5 right now. Seems to have solved his issues with Project CARS 2 for good now. Let's go back to these 3 musketeers. GC Rider once again really closely behind WMD and Martin through Seaside Way. And that's some nice buildings in the background. Hope I'm not going to fall asleep in race 2. We are already on lap 10, 4 laps until the end of race 1. Both Padawan leading with WMD and Martin in second, closely followed by GC Rider and Lord Arno. Oh, maybe let me change the car. And GC Rider right behind. Won't make a move yet, at least. Looks like the post sets a fastest sector 1. And GC Rider now goes around the outside of WMD Martin into the Firestone corner and makes it stick. So that's GC Rider up into P2 as they are heading onto lap 11 out of 14. And Lord Arno could be lining a move on WMD Martin as well. It looks like it. He goes to the inside, which is actually outside for turn 1. And Lord Arno gets a great run into turn 1. And he's going around the outside. Oh, and that's a hit. That's an incident with WMD Martin. GC Rider runs away with that P2. And WMD Martin and Lord Arno collide. Lord Arno actually stuck in there waiting for the cars to pass. WMD Martin stays in third where he has started the lap on. Even Kerry goes up into P4 where 2 fight the third gains. Mad Dog, Dudek and Ticklish Pikoiko gaining on that incident as they have all overtaken. Lord, I don't know. Oh, and that is Stephen Carey spinning uh, for Seaside Way. So that is him now down into P6 as he's overtaken by Mad Dog and Dudek the Pole. And also, it seems like Ticklish Pickle Wickle will overtake him as well. No real issues there for the Dane. And we are now on lap 12, 6 seconds of the lead for all the Padawan. Doesn't seem like anyone can challenge him right now. And North Padawan is starting lap 13, 2 laps including this one, left until the end of the race. Everyone pretty much settled into their position. Doesn't seem like we'll get any fights or any or anything else for now, as we are now in the late stages of the race. With Padawan out of reach once again, will be taking his second win in the league and extending his lead over WMD Martin. Actually, excuse me, the GC Rider is in second. WMD Martin is in third in the standings. Lord Arno heads into the pit lane on the penultimate lap. Seemingly for damage. Could be fuel as well, but we can't confirm nor deny that. And in the meantime, we have lost one of the drivers. We are down to 12 runners. So let's drive along with Old Padawan for the last lap of the race as he is driving through Seaside Way, weaving onto the on the straight. Almost as he knows that we are watching him right now. That is probably not the case, a little bit of a delay on the stream. Old Padawan crossing now the Indy left into the hairpin, now onto the start finish line. Domination, 11 seconds to P2 for Old Padawan, pole position as well, and he takes the win in the sprint race on Long Beach. WMD Martin crosses the line in second, GC Rider right behind him in third. Mad Dog fourth, calm race, but he capitalized on incidents of others. We like the pole crossing the line in fifth. Nicholas Picoico sixth. Stephen Carey comes in seventh after that incident 2 laps ago. Nida Lap will cross the line soon in P8. Speeding sedan actually already crossed the line and stopped. In P9, Kierovnik heads to the start finish line, already actually passed it in P10. Too Fast now finishes the race, and Lord Arono already crossed the line. P12, involved in that accident previously, made him drop into last. So that is it for race 1, but stay with us for race 2, for the featured race. 40 minutes of great racing here on Long Beach Street Circuit in the Great Britain. See you soon. Okay, so we are finally back with that long overdue. I don't know what happened there, but we are back for the feature race. 28 laps, 40 minutes of racing, 3 p.m. here on the 30th of May in Long Beach, California. I think it is California. So we are now ready to start the formation lap. We are obviously having a reversed grid order, which means Old Padawan will be starting last. And I am pretty sure we will have... I actually don't know who's starting first. Oh, that's Lord, I don't know, he finished last. Obviously the guys who have disconnected in the race 1 will be starting from the last places of the grid. So after Lord Arna we have two fast, Kierovnik, leading sedan, Nidala. After that there is Stephen Carey, Ticklish Pickwickle, Dudek the Poe, Mad Dog, GC Rider, WMDA Martin, Old Padawan, and actually Paul is the last on the grid after disconnecting from race 1. So we are getting closer to the start finish line on the onboard of Lord, I don't know. He will be starting race 2. We are getting ready for the aforementioned race start, and Lord, I don't know, takes off too fast right behind him. Good run for him. Oh my goodness, that's quite a quick run from Kirovnik. as he takes P2 right now, 3 wide into turn 1. Backs out of it, gets overtaken now by Speeding Sedan. Too fast, clips the wall. That keeps his P2. Lucky for him. So that's the start done and over with. Quite calm in there. Kierovnik had a great run but couldn't capitalize on it, and he now actually backing out of the move. Days it before. Kierovnik having a good run on Seaside Way right now. Too fast taking the lead on the Seaside Way straight. Oh my goodness, and that's a heavy incident. And that's Kierovnik ending up on the roof. That's a heavy incident, and Speeding Sedan ending on his roof. That's the race over for him. Heavy damage for Kierovnik. Seems like he will be not having a good day either. And we already have a few cars into the pits. 4 cars it is. Lord Arano pitting first. Stephen Carey, GC Rider and Dudek the Pole follow him. Too fast keeps his lead. And Speeding Sedan disconnects as he retires after ending up on the roof. Well, race ending crash. I'm just a little bit sad that we didn't see it from an exterior cam. Too fast in the lead now. Ticklish Pickawicko ending up in P2 after that carnage we had on Seaside Way. Madag is in third. Then Old Padawan making ground up quickly. Already up from P12 into P4. That's rapid progression from the Hungarian. Then WMD Martin in P5. And Ticklish Pickawicko gets closer and closer to Too Fast. Look, the pole involved in that incident we had on lap 1. Hopes of him getting any place on the podium pretty much all diminished. Ticklish Pickawicko making slow but steady progress and catching up to Too Fast. This rider moves up into P9. Let's see him and Lord Arano. Old Padawan setting the fastest sector, and Lord Arano goes down the inside and loses the position. GC Rider keeps 9th, which is actually 8th, as we have Stephen Carey pitting. Is that his second pit stop now, or his first one? Let me see. Oh, I can't see pit stops in. Stephen Carey actually penalized with 10 seconds. I wonder what is that for, because I don't see it on the race feed. Oddly enough. And in the meantime, Ticklish Pickawicko overtakes Too Fast for the lead of the race. Mad Dog in third, following the pair closely. Could be making a move on Too Fast right now, and that is indeed the case. Mad Dog will take the outside line for turn 1, but he shouldn't have any problems with keeping that lead into the aforementioned corner. And that is indeed the case. P2 for Mad Dog right now. Will be setting his sights after Ticklish Pickawicko in that P1 spot right now. Old Padawan following them patiently. already 8 positions gained from the start of the race. Could be another win for him if he plays his hand well. WMD Martin in P5 could be another podium for him. Big slide into Seaside Way. And Teklas Bukowiko keeping his lead for now, playing the start of the race right, avoiding the incidents. Mad Dog doesn't seem to be catching up to him. And actually Dudek the Pole, sitting in P10 right now, has the fastest lap of the race. Oh, and in the meantime we have some moves going on. And that's old Padawan making a move into turn 1 on too fast, and he is up into the podium positions. WMDR Martin could be making a move on too fast soon as well, as he is quicker than the Belgian driver. Oh, and too fast clips the wall very hard. Takes damage and drops into P5. That's WMDR Martin taking P4 without any necessary fight. So that's old Padawan, already 9 positions up from the start. Nicholas Pikoweko for now doesn't seem to have any issues with keeping up this lead. And in the meantime, Lord Arono goes into the pit lane as well. Stephen Carey pits for the 3rd time now, I think. Well, that is not good news. And Kierovnik gets penalized for track limits. Let's see how much penalty does he get. 1 second. Now Padawan making that gap smaller and smaller. Now 1 second behind Picklish Picklewickle. Dudek the pole up into P9 and setting the fastest sector 1 could beat his quickest lap, which is also the fastest lap of the race. Oh, I'm forgetting to change the cams. Let's see the field pretty much spread out after that crazy start, but we could still have some battle for the lead of the Grand Prix. Kierovnik takes P10, 1 lap down. Route Padawan right on the back of Mad Dog. Could be seeing a move being lined up soon as they head on to lap 8. And let's see that's old Padawan taking the inside line, and he takes P2 without any problems. That's old Padawan up into P2, 10 positions gained from the start of the Grand Prix. Well, I don't know if it's a Grand Prix, but it's definitely a race. 1 second down from the leader, Nicholas Pikoweko. Not the quickest car on track, to be honest, right now. But he's been consistent and avoiding incidents, making him jump into the lead for now. Mad Dog actually getting a good run on Seaside Way. Let's see if he decides to go for the move. No is the answer. Could interpret it as that. Not quick enough, taking the wrong line as well. And he stays in P3. Doesn't seem to have a good enough run on the start-finish straight. Old Padawan actually now slower than Tigrish Pickaweko. So I was wrong after all. Like the post setting the quickest laps right now, Tigrish Pickaweko not much slower than him. And correct me, slow sector 1 from Tigrish Pickaweko, Old Padawan slightly closer to him than previously. Nidalap moves into P5. Wonder what happened there. Oh, that is too fast, making a mistake. Running deep into turn 1. Dropping into P7 right now. Paul also overtakes him. Oh, too fast running wide again. Oh, not the good first half of the race for Too Fast. Starting in the lead. Now dropping into P7. But let's go back to the leaders. Old Padawan ever closer to Ticklish. Hungarian taking no victims. Victory in race 1. P2 right now in race 2. As we are starting lap 10. All three leaders under 1 second right now. But Padawan goes deep, goes for the switchback, and dives down the inside of Ticklish Pickaweko. Let's see if he sticks it in the roundabout section. Oh! I don't know if I can consider that sticking it or not, but Old Padawan takes Ticklish Pickaweko out and gets the lead of the Grand Prix. Mad Dog takes P2, WMD Amaten claims P3, and Ticklish Pickaweko is down into 4th. Well, that is not good news for the Dane, and I am very sure that will be investigated by the stewards. In the meantime, Kirovnik with a DNF. Not good news again for the 8 Stars Racing team, as Dudek is down in P9 right now, one of the last positions on the grid, and Kirovnik has retired. Anyway, let's go on board with Mad Dog, as he is 3/10 behind the leader right now. WMD and Martin behind those two, 2 seconds of a gap. He's got a pretty hefty lead over P4, which is Ticklish Pickaweko after that crash. I am not one to speak, I'm not a great racer myself, but very impatient from Old Padawan. He definitely had the pace over the Dane and could have waited with that move, but he went for the first possible occasion. Taken out pretty much his competitor, and like I said earlier, I think this is going to be penalized heavily. Mad Dog keeping up with Old Padawan, but can't. But not quicker than him actually. As we are heading onto Seaside Way for the 11th time now. Rishi Rider moves up to 6th after Nidalap makes a pit stop. The British driver very quick, but not quite lucky this week. Let's go back with Mad Dog, still under 1 second behind Old Padawan. As they are crossing the start finish line, starting lap 12, we are getting ever closer to the middle of the race. Old Padawan looking up a tiny bit into turn 1. Oh, actually goes wide in the roundabout section. Let's Mad Dog catch up a tiny bit. Slower lap times than race 1, but that is very much expected due to the race being longer, more fuel on board. Let's follow Mad Dog's nose. That was a bad joke. Yeah, but like I said, Mad Dog close and quick enough to follow Old Padawan, but not fast enough to overtake him. WMD Martin follows them in the background. But let's see now. A little mistake into Firestone corner from Old Padawan. Could be an occasion for Mad Dog. He takes the hairpin very slowly. WMD Martin catches up to the two of them due to that. We are on lap 13. This Pico in no man's land right now. 11 seconds of a loss to the leader. Could be ending up on the podium if Old Padawan gets penalized, but let's not overtake the fact. And this is probably how Hamilton's onboard looked in Hungary. He was following Fernando Alonso. Mad cutting the corner heavily into Seaside Way. I think he's closer than he was on the last lap, but close but no cigar. Following through Indy left right now. Tries to go deep to get a slingshot into the start finish straight. And it does seem to be a little bit effective. He's actually gaining slowly but steadily. And we are halfway through. Let's see how that lap unfolds. Old Padawan sliding through turn 1, going a little bit deep into the roundabout. Mad Dog patiently following in P2. Well, this fight, if I can call it that, not really unfolding. It's the same every lap. Mad Dog close, very close to Old Padawan in the last few corners, but can't make the move due to, well, Old Padawan being as wide as the track itself, especially in La Gasomé. Let's check up with WMD Martin. following in P3, steady gap, keeping the gap between 2 and 3 seconds, driving pretty much with the pace of the leaders. So no way to actually catch up to those two in front unless they start fighting. Let's see, Paul. Well, Paul is another man in no man's land. GC Rider makes a pit stop halfway through the race. And once again through in the left, and again the same situation. Mad Dog can't get the run on Old Padawan in the last few corners, can't make a move into the last corner. So Cool Shark Racing, how I sign up for this sing up. Well, I can't really sing, but you can sign up through the Apex Online Racing site. The link is in the description below. Or is it? Oh well, the link is actually not in the description below, but let me give you the link on the chat. Here you go on that mentioned site and you can sign up for the league. Actually, I'm not sure if you can sign up now, but you can definitely sign up in the middle of the season. As far as I know, that's when the sign-ups open again. And back into the fight, Mad Dog actually losing some ground to Old Padawan. Same with WMD and Martin, the gap now over 3.5 seconds. But it seems like the weak point of Old Padawan is the last sector. Mad Dog seems to be gaining ground every lap in that section of the track. Now, while the Hungarian actually having some company in this race, if you haven't watched race 1, over 11 seconds of a gap between P1 and P2. This time around, Mad Dog is on Old Padawan's tail for the entire race. I'm noting the Paul penalized for exceeding track limits, 1 second penalty in there. I thought Project Cars 2 died. I used to be on Xbox Project Cars 2, now I'm on PC. I didn't know of any Project Cars 2 leagues. Well, Project Cars 2, I think it has more or less 1000 players right now on PC, current on Steam. Which is obviously not a very large number, but it is definitely more alive than Project Cars 3. It still has some very loyal players. Of small but loyal fan base. I think there are some other leagues in Project Cars 2, definitely niche ones, but I know there are some. I can't really mention the names on the stream. There is one league that has their own paint scheme in the game. The Actual Vision League, I'm pretty sure they still run Project Cars 2 races. Here you go, I mentioned it. I mean, that's part of the game. I could probably mention it, no problem. Stephen Curry actually making up some ground. Oh, Stephen Curry is into the wall. I wanted to say he makes up some ground as he overtook Lord Dominooo, who has pitted and dropped down to P11. And Stephen Curry losing his nose. And possibly damaging his suspension. as it looks like. Oh, yes, that car looks very much damaged. Could be a race over for Stephen Carey, but he seems very keen to continue on driving, possibly making it back into the pits, back into P11 and finishing the race in there. Back with the leaders, and Mad Dog still under a second behind. Old Padawan still can't overtake him. And we are heading into turn 1 for the 19th time. Mad Dog still within a car's length of Old Padawan, but doesn't seem like we will get any moves. Number 20 car definitely on par with Old Padawan right now. And Old Padawan penalized for track limits right now. That is a 1 second penalty, so if Mad Dog can keep that gap under 1 second for another 9 laps, that means he could still win the race. So let's see how that unfolds. WMDR Martin dropping heavily behind the two leaders. The gap 2 seconds before right now, almost 10. Ticklish Pickwickle also gaining to the Belgian driver. Now under 5 seconds behind him. So that could still mean a podium for the Dane. If you haven't saw the start of the race, Ticklish Pickwickle taking the lead after a carnage in the early stages of the race, then pushed aside quite literally by Old Padawan, demoted into P4 after going wide due to that incident, and has been making up ground ever since. Old Padawan with Mad Dog still they are still very close together, still a procession quite literally. Stephen Carey actually already out of the pit, and it seems as he's back on track. 5 minutes behind the leader, but he is back on track, and that's what's important. And Old Padawan is heading into the pits now on lap 20. I mean an undercut or a overcut for Mad Dog. Doesn't seem like either of them will get stuck in traffic, as there is quite literally no traffic. But Mad Dog could finally unleash his pace with Old Padawan pitching. So let's see how the strategical battle unfolds. WMDR Martin promoted into P2 with Hungarian heading into the pits. Ticklish Pickwickle jumping into third for now. Mad Dog actually taking the lead for the first time in this race. We had, I think, 4 or 5 different leaders for now. Leaders. I think we had 4 different leaders now. English Pickwickle, coordinator and moderator for Apex Online Racing, now driving in third. Could be demoted to 4th after he makes his stop but could still be very well be in the fight for a podium, as WMDR Martin is losing pace. Lord Arno in the pits again. Out of the box already, and Ticklish Pickle Wickle is now actually making a stop. So he should be back into P4, maybe even P5 if Paul overtakes him. A group of lapped cars go past the Dane now in the pit stop. And those Padawan 36 seconds down into Mad Dog. Wonder what will that mean when Mad Dog actually decides to pit. And the end of the race is sooner and sooner. But like I mentioned, Mad Dog and WMD Martin still haven't visited the pits. Out Padawan actually gaining on Mad Dog. The gap going down now by 2 seconds. Mad Dog losing time rapidly. But the gap is now 34 seconds. Mad Dog should be getting soon as well. Lord Arno getting blue flag. He's 9 minutes behind the leader after all the pit stops, crashes and other incidents he was involved with in this race. WMDR Martin actually gaining on for Mad Dog all into the pits, which means Ticklish Pickle Wickle will regain his P4. An old Padawan, third right now. Dudek jumps into 5th. Old Padawan could be regaining his lead that he lost if pitting soon. Mad Dog is now into the pits as we have expected for a few laps now. Let's see if he comes out on top or is it old Padawan. WMDR Martin takes the lead of the race for now. Mad Dog now in his pit stall. Very efficient tire change. We didn't even notice the mechanics doing it so rapid. And it seems like Mad Dog should be keeping the P2 professional lead. Or is it? Let's see. Mad Dog rejoining on the circuit right now. Old Padawan full speed heading into turn 1. But he won't get Mad Dog. The undercut hasn't worked for Old Padawan. Mad Dog in P2. WMDR Martin possibly still having to make a pit stop. That could mean that Mad Dog is the provisional race leader. Oh, I really love the roof cam. After the series of pit stops, the Pickle Wickle is back and forth. Dudek the Poe is in 5th, and the needle lap is down to 6th. Poe not far behind in 7th, though already a lap down. WMDR Martin is starting lap 25. He should be pitting soon. I don't think he has already pitted. Even Kerry into the pits once again. I can't count the pit stops. He's already made so many. So actually, we have missed it, but Odd Padawan overtakes Mad Dog. Wonder what happened there. Mad Dog had a pretty stable lead over Odd Padawan, but that is in the past now. And I don't think that it is going to end well for Mad Dog. We know how it ended previously, stuck for so long behind Old Padawan and couldn't make a move. WMDR Martin now into the pits. So Old Padawan should be retaking the lead of the race soon. And let's see WMDR Martin into his pit stop. So Old Padawan retakes his lead of the race. Mad Dog following him closely. WMDR Martin third with a rejoin in no man's land pretty much. Mad Dog still under 4/10 of a second behind Old Padawan. But it isn't the end for Mad Dog. Old Padawan with that 1 second penalty for track limits. So if Mad Dog keeps it under that 1 second in the following 2 last laps, that means he will take the victory in the feature race. You also have to remember that Old Padawan could be penalized for that incident with Ticklish Pickle Wickle, which means his potential win or podium could be taken away. It depends on how the stewards decide about it and if the incident is reported. We have a yellow flag in turn 1. That is for Stephen Kerry making a tiny mistake close to the roundabout. And we are starting the penultimate lap. Mad Dog still under that 1 second, that magical 1 second margin. And that's another unfortunate retirement. It's too fast this time around. He has started the race in the lead. Now retiring after dropping down to, I think it was P11 in the end. Should still be classified as he has completed over 90% of the race. And Old Padawan still can't escape that 1 second from Mad Dog. Mad Dog keeping his pace very consistently as we are heading onto the start finish line and starting the final lap of the race. Mad Dog improving on his last lap time, actually quicker this time around than old Padawan. Let's see how the last lap of the race unfolds, whether Mad Dog takes the victory on track, takes the victory via the penalty, or maybe doesn't take the victory at all, and old Padawan breaks the 1 second margin and takes the victory. As they are heading towards Pine Avenue. And as they are heading through the side, they are heading through the side way for the last time round. Now through in the left and through La Gasomet for the last time. Mad Dog still right on old Padawan's bumper, and it looks like he will keep under that 1 second gap, which means that Mad Dog takes the victory in the feature race. Old Padawan finishes first on track but second in the standings due to his penalty, and WMDR Martin comes in third. English Pickle can't chase down WMDR Martin, finishes fourth. Then we have Dudek the Pole coming onto the start finish line now to finish his race. Middle up into Firestone Corner now. Pole still has some time to go, as do the other runners. I think Stephen Carey could have pitted just to as this race finished, but I don't know about that. Mechanical fault for Ticklish Pickwickle. Oh, there is quite some fun on the roundabout section. But Stephen Carey actually gets a time penalty. 30 seconds penalty for him right now. Not a dream race for him, but Mad Dog takes his first victory of the series. Great race from him. Couldn't quite overtake old Padawan, but kept on kept himself on his back for the entire race. Now, little attempt to do donuts. I think failed one though. And that's not the final standings, but that's the session result. We have Mad Dog takes the victory in the feature race. Old Padawan comes in second, half a second behind, counting that penalty. WMD Martin takes the final spot on the podium. Then we have Ticklish Pickle, Dudek the Pole, Needle Up, Paul, GC Rider, Stephen Carey, and Lord Arono comes in P10. Stephen Carey actually counted as a DNF. So, I think that's it for the evening. I'm heading into bed. I'm sorry, but there will be no interviews tonight. I'm really sleepy and I just want to go to sleep. Thank you for sticking around with me and watching our great race drivers race around Long Beach. Great racing today. Two different winners. Great racing. And yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching, and I'm hoping to see you next week. Good night.